Hello and welcome to this video where I'll be drawing another page in the reversed coloring book by Kendra Norton. This is my fourth page that I am making in this book, and here we can have a look at the first page that I ever made, which was these animals that are actually plants type of thing. And then I've also made another page in this one. I have two books, so I made this one in this book as well, and then I made another one in the other book. But I scrolled around and found this page that I liked, and I'll be using these nice little Faber-Castell pine liners that I have laying around in brown and red because I feel like it fit the page. And then I go right in with the drawing. I didn't really have any plan or any theme in mind when making this page, but I did see this kind of a bird looking form, so that's why I just started right in there, tried to see the form and kind of just make things up as I went. And what I saw from this bird is that it cannot really be a normal bird because it has very many things sticking out of it, so it would either be holding something or it would have many wings. So I decided on giving this little bird 3 wings, and then it would probably have one more on the other side that you can't see. This page has a lot of the same looking blobs, or at least blobs that have a similar look to them, so I will be making a lot more of these birds. And then to make it a little bit more interesting, I saw this little extra blob that was sticking out of the bird. I was thinking maybe a backpack, but in the end I decided to make like a little rider or like a little soldier riding on the bird. And that's also going to be part of the theme, so I want to kind of make it look like there's a little war between these two bird nations or something. I don't really know, with these little people that ride birds. So yeah, here we have the theme just by making the first little blob, which I'm really happy with, and I try to stick to the theme as much as possible, which is not always that easy because some of the blobs don't look like birds and some of the blobs still not look like humans. I haven't really drawn that many wings in my life, so I'm just kind of winging it at this point. Anyway, the reddish blobs, they do not really look as much like birds as the other ones do, or the yellow ones. So therefore they are gonna look a little bit more different. Oh, here I'm also adding some weapons. Wanted them to have little swords because it's gonna be kind of like a medieval bird type of thing, but not really because we got the helmets that don't look like that. I don't know. And here's a person falling. And it looks really weird because I'm trying to follow the blob as much as possible. And that is really a challenge because this blob also did not really look like anything. But I think I made it work. Made it into a cute little falling guy with this little strap thing on. I don't know. I didn't look up any references for anything, so I'm just kind of trying my best here. Here I go back to the red bird, and as you can see, it's looking a little bit goofy because, again, the red blobs don't really look like birds, and I'm trying to force them to look like birds, so just get ready for a lot of wonky red birds. Such as this one, which got this gigantic beak, and I do think the beak looks like a beak. I think that was a good thing there, but the wing looks a little bit weird, but I think I made it work. Here's another yellow bird. This one is quite cute in my opinion, has this kind of long neck, very elegant, and the wings are a little bit off because I didn't really get them to look that natural. And this little guy as well is really goofy, but I think it's kind of charming, and then he gets the little outfit that all the other guys get, and yeah. I for some reason felt like this bird looked kind of like a pigeon, so I decided that it would be like a little messenger pigeon in a way, so it got a little bag on the side and is like, you know, sending messages or something. For this next blob, I could not for the life of me see a bird out of it, so I decided to take it a little bit of a different direction. These two dots in the middle kind of made it look like it was a person or like eyes, so I decided to go that route and make it into a falling person that is kind of, yeah, in this weird position because they're falling, and also because I wanted to follow the blob. And they're dropping little grenades, so they were like the grenade person or something. I don't know how this works. So all the little dots turn into little grenades. So that means that I kind of got a solution for what all of the green dots are, or the little green splatters. They're all going to be little grenades. And then I try to finish this person off with a little strap for the helmet. I do some of the grenades so that they look like grenades, but the other ones are just gonna be green blobs. Here's another one of the weird red birds, and this one actually had something that kind of resembled an eye and a beak, but the body is just not, it's just not right. How does it fly with these short little wings? Who knows? But at least there's enough space to add a little person because it has a really wide body. So that I did. I tried to make it look like you can see him from the back. And then here, this one made me think that I wanted them to actually be attacking each other, which I don't do for that many birds, but it looked like the beak was kind of inside the bird already. So I decided to do that. And then I just made it the other bird, and yeah, it turned out a little bit off, especially this newer bird that I'm making right here, because I didn't really know what to do with all of the different details of it. There's so much things sticking out, so it's getting a lot of wings that don't make that much sense, but you know, I gotta do something with them. So it gets 6 wings, and it's kind of poking it in a really weird spot as well, so that is also quite unfortunate. But I did try my best. I really did. Next up are these 2 quite small blobs, which I made into 2 actually pretty good-looking, relatively good-looking birds that are interacting and are supposed to be looking at each other. So for this next blob, I think it turned out really good, but it is not a bird because I could not for the life of me see a bird in it. But I had already made the design or the idea for it, birds and people, or like birds and soldiers. So this is turning into this soldier with these very, very big pants that is kind of karate kicking the air. And you can see him kind of in the back. And he's getting a gun because I don't really know why. He's the only one who has a gun. This is more of a sword fight and grenades, but he gets a gun. Good for him. And then this one, I also could not see a proper form. So I thought, okay, this is like one of the soldiers' head that had come off. Well, not soldier, one of the birds. And then here I just make a little bird booty with the leg. And here as well, I'm making, this one is actually supposed to be alive, but the perspective is supposed to be that you can see his head and not the rest of his body. So I kind of like roughly shape out this body, and he's looking a little bit mad. Otherwise, yeah, here I'm kind of running out of ideas, and I am a little bit bored of it because I've made a lot of birds. So this is the time of the process, or the part of the process where I just make things really quickly, like this laying soldier that also looks ridiculous. I don't know what he's doing. Yeah, he's like falling flatly. That's the only thing I could see from the blob. This blob, although quickly made, turned out really well, and rest of the birds are going to be pretty quickly made, to be honest, because I was getting a little bit bored of this whole thing. Here is the body of the bird that I chopped the head off earlier in the process, because I could not see the head of this bird, so that's why it looked like that. And then here I also made this very big guy, because I could only see a guy, and then the bird is a little bit small, so it looks a little bit off, but that's okay. It also looks more like a fish, and I also like slightly regret not making this into like a fish spread or something. I think the fishes would have turned out really cute here. So this yellow bird underneath this red one is puking something green. Maybe it's puking grenades. I don't know what the lore is here. That would have been cool though. But yeah, I thought that idea was kind of cool. So I'm drawing that, and then I'm drawing, of course, a little guy for him, because everybody gets a little guy who is kind of like hanging off of him, desperately hanging on for his life. Here's a teensy weensy little blob, so it is turning into a head. So somebody got into, or, you know, had a grenade accident, I guess. Here's the rest of him. This bird was looking kind of cute until I did this. Is this a gun? Is it a cigarette? I don't know, but this bird has something in its mouth that makes very little sense. And then I decided to make this little guy that is falling or laying. I guess he's supposed to be falling, since this is happening in the sky, who's falling a little bit weirdly. And it doesn't really make much sense with the bird smoking in front of him. But anyway, I digress. Here is the next bird. And we're pretty much coming to the end here, because this is probably one of the last birds that I made for this spread. He gets a bomb or grenade or something, I don't really know. I just had to fix the blob, you know, and this little harness. And that is it for this reversed coloring book page. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly did. It was a fun, good time. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you again next week. Goodbye.